what's going on, people? This is where you want to be. Welcome to Spiritual Needs TV. Welcome back to another show of The Spiritual Journey, episode number 3. We're getting through them. And in today's episode, we have Joy Fanny with us. She's all the way from Colombia. She is the host of the YouTube channel Astronaut of Life. And she has come on this show today to share her experiences and her journey with all of you lot. She used to be an atheist, believe it or not, but then she had 2 experiences that slapped her in her face, as she said, and it woke her up to something larger than herself. I hope you all enjoy this interview, guys. Thank you for the love and support. Namaste. Just tell me a bit about yourself and what your channel is about. Is it called Astronaut of Life?
Yes.
Beautiful. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, so I'm just starting out, right? But I felt called to do this. My other job ended, and instead of just finding another job like it, Spirit was like, no, it's time to go full time into this and just take that leap of faith. So that's what this channel and what I'm kind of all about right now. Spirituality is a journey. Like, I think in the beginning, I felt like I have to heal this, and this, and then I can call myself a spiritual person. But that's not
the case.
No, there is no like prerequisite for it. Besides just wanting to connect. That's really the only prerequisite I can think of. Mm-hmm. So to me, if you go into space without the helmet, that's like having a spiritual life, but you're not practicing. Yes. Or you're not doing the work.
So I can refer to that as like doing the spiritual work you need to do in order to ascend to a higher level of knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I agree. Yeah. And I think, and that's to me where the analogy might fail, because the spirituality is a journey, right?
Yes.
So
an ongoing journey.
Yeah, even once you get the helmet on and you're doing your spiritual practice, you still have to explore and see what there is out there.
Have you always been spiritually aware, or was there a time in your life where you could say, as people refer to it as, they woke up sort of thing? Or have you always been?
No, I have not always been. Now, I grew up in a Protestant Christian household, so I was like exposed to religion.
Okay.
My dad was a pastor for several years when I was like a teenager. So, my parents are pretty hardcore Christians. But it was at like age 25 where I finally was starting to question my religion, and is this what I need? And I had like a negative traumatic experience, and it kind of pushed me the other way. I became an atheist.
Really?
Yeah, after that, and I considered myself an atheist for several years. And I want to say like maybe 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I was like in my early 30s at that time, and I was kind of introduced to spirituality. I still was like an atheist, but I was willing to explore different things. And I had this coworker who was super spiritual. She was also a tattoo artist. She's just like a goddess. And she would just gently be like, why don't you like listen to Manny P. Hall or like Dolores Cannon and like go down.
I love Dolores.
And I was just like, all right, because she was so cool. And I was just like, I really like her energy, and like, I want to know what she's smoking, like literally. She gave me some DMT.
Okay.
To use. And I did that twice, and I had 2 experiences. So then, as an atheist, it was just like
shattered.
Right. It was like, well, I just saw some crazy shit. So And I don't think that came from me. It didn't feel like it came from me. And I was like floating in the room and I didn't have a body and I didn't care. And so it really kind of like literally was a smack in the face. Like, girl, there's more out there if you just go look for it. So I never really watched YouTube before that. And I didn't really understand like why everybody was into YouTube. But then I jumped on the wagon and I was like, oh, okay, this is addicting. Yeah.
YouTube.
And I mean,
God.
And I started listening. I listened to a Feel Good a lot. And that one guy, I can't think of his name, but he has all those catchphrases.
Not Infinite Waters.
Yes, that's it. It's that guy. Yeah.
Ralph Smart.
I would watch him and
Beautiful energy.
I only vaguely understood what they were talking about, but it resonated with me, and I was like, I don't really know what's going on, but this feels right, so I'm just gonna keep going with it.
I'll tell you what, Joy, if it wasn't for YouTube back when I woke up around about 2011, 2012, I would have thought I was absolutely doolally, because that was the only source of information that I could receive that was sort of confirming to me that I wasn't going mad.
We're also connected on so many levels that it's just not even funny.
It's crazy. If people really understood. But this is what a lot of that has been kept from us for a very good reason, you see, and because if people did know their true nature of reality and the true nature of who they are as human beings, because we just look at ourselves as the physical, the human side, but people forget the beingness, and once you forget that beingness, that's when you become separate from everyone else.
It's a lot of deprogramming and kind of giving yourself a clean slate, and now I try not to hold on to any belief too strongly, because I want to keep myself always evolving and changing, because what if a new insight comes that contradicts that? I want to be open to it. It lets you take your control back, which is what you said earlier, and kind of show your ego and your mind who's boss. Like, no, I'm not going to let you control me anymore. You've been running the program, and we kind of went to a dead end that was full of depression and sorrow. So
do you have a connection with your spirit guides and the angels? Do you believe in them?
Yeah, I do. And I mainly connect through mine with meditation. Meditation is very powerful for me. And it was one of the first things, even before my coworker I mentioned, I went to therapy to literally reprogram my brain, because those negative thoughts were just
so dominant.
Yeah, and even as an atheist, I was like, I can't live this way. And my therapist suggested to try meditation, because I had anxiety too, to just kind of calm myself.
It allows you to stay more present throughout the day and appreciate life, and it doesn't just go past. It doesn't just fly past you, because once you're more present and you're not so in the mind, you can connect on a deeper level with people. And I think once I started to meditate, that was when my relationships with myself and everyone else started to change.
Well, I was also concerned of what my family would think and all my old Christian friends, because I knew they all wanted me to love Jesus again and like go down that path, but here I was yet again choosing a different path. And it was just like, oh, then I gotta like try to explain this to them, and I don't think they're gonna get it. And when I get caught up in that, like, to me, I call it an old mindset. Like, why don't they get it? Why don't they understand? Why can't they just accept me? Down that line of thought. Once I catch myself having that kind of thought, I take a step back, and it's just like, where were you 6 years ago, Joy?
I say pick your battles. Choose wisely who you talk to about this stuff with.
Yeah, that's a lesson I've been learning recently too. They take a step back, right? That for me, that's the first thing I always try to do is take a step back, and then it's like, why don't we just like cut yourself some slack and give yourself some love for feeling this emotion, because obviously it's emotion you need to feel right now. Let's feel it, let it have its do its course, so to speak. If you need to cry, scream, whatever it is to get it out. I've also done like the cord cutting.
Oh yeah.
But I'm always, for me, it's also like forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and just love, whether it's for myself or someone else that I have animosity against.
When you are healing, you have to embody whatever you are trying to get rid of. So you feel sad, you feel anxious, you feel whatever it is you're healing, you have to relive it. And I think that's the confusing thing about the spiritual awakening process, because you can believe that you're not healing, you're depressed, you're upset, you're down, you're snappy, where in hindsight, it's your body ridding itself of these emotions that don't serve it no more and doesn't serve you anymore.
It's like when your body has a fever and it's healing you, right? You get hot,
that's it. Yeah.
And uncomfortable, but it's actually the best thing for you in that moment is to have the fever, so your body burn it up.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual fever. But then once you do it, and yeah, you feel the pain and the emotion that you had in that time, but then you release it, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is what.
Yes.
This is how I'm supposed to be feeling.
That's
like,
it.
That place, sometimes I can even pinpoint where in my body that emotion was trapped or event, and then after I heal it, it's gone, and you're like, wow. And then I almost feel like for me, it becomes a little addicting, because it's like, all right, what else? Come on, what else needs healing?
Yeah.
I'm ready now. I know what to do. And then maybe a big one comes, and you're like, oh, but I was looking for the small fish. That's what I was talking about.
That's why they say be careful what you wish for.
You learn these things in life. I think we go through hell to learn to not fear. Because when you've been through the ringer and you've seen rock bottom maybe more than once, really nothing is quite as scary as again. But at least for me, it's more yeah, I've been through so much worse than this one thing. And obviously I'm not dead, so I have came out the other side, so I'm pretty sure I can handle this now. What
would you have told your younger self now, something you know now back then?
I would tell them to just release. Go for it. You know, fight through the fear and go for it, and be open to all the possibilities that await you, because there's a lot. Yeah.
That's an amazing message. So everyone, Astronaut of Life, please go and look Joy up. She's an amazing being. Her energy is fantastic, and it's been an amazing chat. I appreciate your time as well, Joy.
Thank you, Cortez. It's been awesome to be here.